Brilliant. Thanks, Helen. Hello, everybody. Look, I'm Jules from Kosloff Architecture, and I'm presenting with Lance, who is the project architect on this project. We're presenting Delacombe Stadium, which is a competition basketball and netball gymnasium located on the Delacombe Primary School campus.
The client is the Victorian School Building Authority, and the project is delivered under a lump sum modified AS2124 contract with Kosloff as the superintendent, engaging full sub-consultants. Delacombe Primary School staff, students and community members, Ballarat Council, Ballarat Basketball are our key stakeholder group. And for us, the process of consultation is really about how to have a meaningful conversation, with face-to-face workshops, student drawing activities, online surveys, one-to-one interviews. We listened and talked about what success could look like for the community. And of course, in some ways, they want the prosaic, a gym, a place for basketball, volleyball, for sport, for assemblies. But more broadly, they want a project that invites the town into the school, removes boundaries, and encourages a wider sense of ownership. It's also crucial for the school to open up new revenue streams. At the moment, the gym's rented out most evenings and weekends for a return of about $35,000 per year. This supports wider educational programs and outreach services.
So with the school's support, I guess we're interested in exploring the idea of the civic, as well as challenging the typical gym typology. Delacombe's on the fringe of Ballarat, a population of around 6,000 people. It was named in 1965 after a post-World War II program that included the development of about 150 social housing blocks, which were constructed essentially on farming land. In many ways, it's typical of any outer urban development or sort of peri-urbanism, I guess, in that it's an area located immediately adjacent to a city centre. The town itself is a byproduct of agricultural land converted to either industrial, commercial or residential use. And predominantly, it's a mix of low density residential housing and light industrial sheds that tend to dominate this sort of built environment. Delacombe has a really limited public amenity, which is dispersed, and there's no real town centre. There's no central street, if you like. And I think we were interested in exploring the immediate relationship to our site, which is in orange in the centre there, where a formative cluster of public functions could be reinforced by the siting and design of the new stadium.
Our building is started to address the Doug Dean Oval to the west. It creates a pocket park and kick-around space to the north between the BER building and the gym. It creates a new junior year's outdoor play space to the west and embraces the play area. And prominent entries off Greenhugs Road to the south create a new front door for the school. The plan arrangement here shows the entry sequence from road with foyer leading to a generous veranda on the east, linking entry and amenities block to the north. The offset or slippage of form and porosity of view through spaces to beyond allows the large floor plate to offer a sense of generosity while also providing for the intimate.
So, I guess returning for a moment to the dominant typologies in the town, which are industrial and residential, we were, I suppose, trying to draw out the scale and texture of the industrial shed, as well as the ubiquitous brick veneer house, and start to think about them or use them as formal drivers. We felt the scale relationship between industrial and residential typologies also provided perhaps a cue as to the street civic interface, as well as a more domestically scaled campus interface.
The entry on this slide shows a clearly articulated form and provides a sense of immediacy from the street. The fencing is removed, boundaries are dissolved, and the building is sited deliberately metres away from the boundary. East and west short elevations shift in scale to the domestic, the campus, the student and the play space, and provide for strong visible connection between inside and outside play activities.
So how might we shift the typology? As any parent with basketball obsessed kids will testify, these venues are typically acoustically uncomfortable, they're glaringly lit, and it's almost always impossible to find the front door to the venue you're going to. So Formally, they're large boxes that don't really engage with the street or the campus. And I guess there's a kind of flatness to the interior that's devoid of poetic, if you like. And there's a really good reason for this. They're typically executed on a very tight budget. The budget for our project was really no different, at around $3,000 a square metre.
So I guess for us, it becomes a question more of judgment and editing when thinking about these buildings. Briefing elements like sizing, function, gutters, external materials, in a certain extent, are largely dictated to us. Really, the buildings are hardworking, and to move them beyond the normative is a challenge. The capricious gesture is not afforded.
So I guess we went to Bunnings, perhaps not physically, but metaphorically. Searching for an inexpensive proprietary system that perhaps we could deploy in a atypical manner to use to build a language or a delight beyond, their standard use.
86-cent concrete blocks that have a natural blended or mottled texture are used with multiple coursings, wall depths and articulations to carve and shift wall alignments, creating pockets for occupation. Metal cladding profiles that exaggerate the quintessential corrugated sheet are used to bring an urban scale texture to the upper form. An off-the-shelf polycarbonate material is compressed to mirror the profile of a sheet metal, performing a dissolving trick as the internal lights shift the southern elevation from static to glowing beacon as the sun lowers. The transition of facade treatments here around corners disguise the material change from solid to translucent and animate the skylight silhouette.
Well, these are two of the campus-facing elevations. I guess, employing that compressed scale or interface with the campus. And then the bottom elevation on this sheet is the interface with the street, with the entry to the right.
1 minute.
Thank you. This is a view from the campus. And again, the western face, I guess, drawing upon the sort of language of the industrial. So perhaps to return again to, the idea of the poetic, I guess, beautifully captured here in this photo of Alvo Aalto's sports hall at the Helsinki University of Technology. And back to our interior spaces, I guess, trying to think about that and consider that in our decor.
And perhaps something about the theatrical, the sense of other use, the opportunity for the clear span to provide for more than the sporting, to provide a space for a community to perform, to act, to display.
That's it. Thank you.